Now, look. We get so caught up in that conclusion that we miss something very, very important that pertains to John 18, and it pertains to what Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah said. Look at verse 18 again. They say, we will not serve your God. Tell your neighbor, don't miss this. The God of the oppressor and the God of the oppressed are, by biblical definition, two different gods. Pilate and Jesus were serving two different gods. Not only were they speaking two different languages, not only were they living in two different worlds, but they were also serving two different gods. The God of slavery is a different God from the God of the slave. Listen, the enslaver's God is a different God from the God of those being enslaved. Let me help you. The God of white supremacy is a different God from the God who came to set the captives free. The God who supported apartheid, the God who approves of shock and awe, the God who winks at collateral damage, the God who rubber stamps the racist exploitation of a people and all the world's resources. That ain't the God who took on the form of a servant and became obedient even unto death. Because beware of who you're talking to. You might be talking to somebody serving a different God. Listen, the God who says that black folk are inferior is not the God who said, I made you in my image and you are mine. The God of sexism is not the God of Sojourner Truth or of Harriet Tubman. The God who loves America and America only is not the God whom Jesus said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. The God of preemptive strikes is not the God of peace. The God of greed is not the God of grace. The God of those who are on the decks of the slave ship is not the God of those who was riding beneath the deck saying, oh Lord, have mercy. The God of a lying president is not the God of a loving provider. The God of the have-mores is not the God of the have-nots. The God who lets the poor die because of selfishness is not the God who became poor for our sakes and who died for our sins. The God of a king who puts people in a fiery furnace is not the God who gets in the furnace along with them people so that when they walk through the fire, their clothes won't even smell like they've been near smoke. And I ain't talking about Allah and Yahweh being two different gods. They're the same God. I'm talking about the God of the slave holder, Nebuchadnezzar, and the God of the slave, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. The God of the colonizer, Pilate and the Italians. And the God of the colonized, that's Jesus, and the Palestinian. Those are two different gods. The God of a king who keeps secret prisons is not the King of Kings who always keeps sacred promises. I'm through, but let me help that last point come alive for you. Say this, the God who keeps secret prisons is not the God who keeps sacred promises.